If I gave you $10 million, would you build an empire or would you go right back to where you started? Pretty easy, right? You would invest the money, start your own business, you'd never have to work again. However, this is a rabbit hole.
In the last few minutes, Sam Bankman-Fried
is forfeiting $11 billion in assets as he begins a 25-year prison sentence for fraud.
Sam Bankman-Fried was crypto's golden boy.
Yet end up spending more than you made, and at one point were like 50 million in debt. How does that happen?
It's being reckless and young and foolish.
This is one of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn.
If you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets.
This is the story of people who managed to reach the pinnacle of success and fall right back down to where they started. Mike Tyson was a heavyweight boxing champion. At the peak of his career, he was one of the highest paid athletes, which made him more than $400 million. But growing up, he had a difficult childhood filled with crime, violence, and poverty. And he has publicly stated that he didn't really learn much about finance or money.
Since I never really learned the art of handling money as a kid. That's an art. That's why only a few people maintain it, because it's an art, and I never possessed it at that time.
On the 1st of August 2003, Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy. But you would think that since he made his money through discipline and by himself, he would be able to control his money, right? Okay, I want to show you something. Look at this diagram. You see, when someone suddenly has millions of dollars, expensive purchases create this kind of excitement and dopamine rush. Over time, the brain gets used to that lifestyle.
My favorite Nicolas Cage film is Pig. I thought it was like a folk song. I thought it was like
Unlike Mike Tyson, Nicolas Cage didn't go broke because of his lavish spendings. In the early 2000s, Nicolas Cage was one of the highest paid actors.
He was reportedly worth over $150 million, and he made the fact he was very rich obvious.
Now don't get me wrong, a rich person can buy many expensive things and still remain very rich.
In 2008, the housing market crashed, which wiped out Nicolas Cage's massive fortune. But he didn't file for bankruptcy.
Now suddenly Cage was caught in a financial storm and he claimed his manager was responsible for giving him bad advice. The IRS filed tax liens against him for millions of dollars. Ultimately, to make up for the tax obligations he had to pay and for survival, he had to sell most of his prized possessions and things that once showed how successful he was. Sam Bankman-Fried became one of the youngest billionaires in history after founding the company FTX.
FTX was a leading centralized cryptocurrency exchange that allowed users to buy, sell, and trade digital assets.
He was seen as a financial genius and one of the most smart people in the crypto industry. But behind the scenes, FTX's success depended on something most customers never knew.
$400 billion worth of volume per month, which is 25 times what you did a year ago. How did you get the uptake at scale?
In 2022, the crypto market faced a major downturn. Asset prices collapsed, investors started taking their money out, and confidence across the industry disappeared. Then a report revealed that Alameda's balance sheet was heavily dependent on FTX tokens, showing that the company was weaker than people believed. As fear spread, customers started withdrawing billions of dollars from FTX. And what happened next became the crypto equivalent to a bank run. The exchange didn't have enough liquid funds to repay everyone because much of the funds have been tied elsewhere in other investments. Within days, FTX collapsed and filed for bankruptcy. And suddenly, Sam Bankman-Fried was accused of creating one of the biggest frauds in modern history. Now it's important to note that while Sam Bankman-Fried and Nicolas Cage went broke because of the way they think and not circumstances they couldn't control, both of them and Tyson fall under the same psychology of wealth distortion. That's me basically saying that wealth distorts to how each of them view reality. Tyson's perception of normal spending changed. Nicolas Cage's perception of what he could afford changed. Sam Bankman-Fried's perception of acceptable risk changed. Money stays the same in and out of your bank account. What changes is your perception of it, and what follows are your decisions. So let me ask you one last time. If I gave you $10 million, would you build an empire or would you go right back to where you started?